Paulo Bernardo's shot couldn't be held by Jack Butland, and that was the difference between the sides. The Celtic fans will party yet again as the Rangers fans in their thousands make their way towards the exits. Where do these boys find the energy to do it? But they've done it. Yet again, they have done it. Joe Hart is in tears. What an end to the career for the Celtic goalkeeper. And the boys will have wanted to do it as much for him as for themselves. Wow. Where did they find the character for that one, Peter? Because it wasn't a pretty game from a Celtic point of view. There were hardly any chances in front of goal. But it just takes one to win a match sometimes. And that man, Adam Ida, stepped up, as did Paulo Bernardo, striding forward.
Well, the substitutes yet again. What an impact to make, you know, and they needed them today because the second half, I thought they were the better side. The first half, I thought Rangers obviously better side. The second half, we've got to be fair on that, and we were digging in. But they've shown character throughout the season. That's the biggest thing. That's why they've won the trophies they've won, because of the character they've shown, because it's not been vintage, but they've been able to find a way. And sometimes, for all the talent in the world you've got, if you show guts, determination, I say you've got to fight, you've got to scratch, and these boys have shown that today, that they can do that also, as well as being very talented individual footballers. Delighted for Ida, because he comes on, he knows he's got a job to do behind Kyogo, and he comes on and produces again. It's not the first time he's done it, and Bernardo as well, so these guys are all a big part of it, and you've got to tip your hat to every single one of them. They've fought right to the death, and to come out with a double is magnificent for them.
Well, the manager has said it. So many wrote Celtic off from as early as August. But we are the double winners now. And what an introduction Adam Ida has been. Brought in on loan in the January transfer window. Has contributed to some big moments in the league win. And now scoring the winning goal in the Scottish Cup final. As the Celtic players go across to celebrate with the supporters, they will do their half lap of honour, as you do at Hampden, after getting the famous old trophy for the 42nd time in their history. Callum McGregor will get a 22nd medal as he goes up to lift the trophy.
I just feel as special as his very first one, Jerry, that's for sure. That's one thing you don't get sick of, is winning trophies for these guys, and they're very, very fortunate. You should never forget that. Every one you win is special.
Shouts of Super Joe Hart from the Celtic supporters. Joe Hart, we need to get used to calling him former Celtic goalkeeper now.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, not just on the pitch. I just look at him and I look at his body language when there are things going on and it's been against us, and as I say, I'm not in the dressing room, but I've got a feeling he'd be such a big part of that.
Huge.
Massive. And you can see that, the respect the players have got for him, you can see the respect that the fans have got for him, and for somebody to get that respect for the Celtic support in such a small period of time, it shows you. And he's handled criticism exactly the way he should handle it. He's been calm, he's been composed, and I thought before the game, and I spoke to you myself, I thought the two goalkeepers would have a massive part to play in the game today, and it's worked out that way. Butland's made one slip, the ball's in the back of the net, and that's how fine these games can be.
Now you can see what it means to Brendan Rodgers as well. We are situated high in the main stand above the dugout area, and one thing I've noticed throughout the match as Philippe Clement was remonstrating and getting all emotional in the technical area, Brendan Rodgers was as calm and as cool as ice. He has got such trust and such faith in his players. He wasn't screaming instructions, he wasn't shouting, telling them what to do. He was simply trusting them, trusting the process, the preparation that they've put in, and letting them deliver, because they have delivered. Time and time again, they deliver, and they've done it again this afternoon. Rangers will come up first and get their losers' medals. Philippe Clement talks about how it's the end of a cycle, the end of an era for the Rangers team. It needs to be a rebuild. It seems to happen every season. But certainly Brendan Rodgers is looking to take Celtic from strength to strength. Callum McGregor pulls Adam Ida away from a television interview to go and lead the celebrations in the Celtic end. And he duly obliges.
I'll not have a better night than that. Scoring a goal, the winning goal in a cup final, a Celtic Rangers match.
Well,
doesn't matter what he does in the rest of his career. This is one day I'll always stick with him forevermore. And it was a fantastic finish because he's had a couple of movements prior to it. He's not just went in there and been lucky. And Bernardo's taken the strike on, but he was first to react. And
he's had to time it perfectly to stay on side when the shot comes in as well.
Absolutely, but it was good striker play because he's had two different movements to keep himself still on side.
Well, quite incredible. There were times in that second half where Celtic were really under pressure. But that Scottish Cup with the green and white ribbons will be coming back to Celtic Park as Joe Hart goes round the Celtic supporters and kisses the gloves, kisses the badge, waves goodbye. What a goalkeeper he's been for Celtic. So there is a presentation podium out on the pitch, but that's for the secondary celebration. The trophy will be presented up the Hampden steps. Well, Rangers gave it everything in that one, Peter, and when I look to my left, there is not a single Rangers supporter who has left to applaud their team when they go up to get their medals. Is that pretty standard?
Probably not for our support, but in Scotland, unfortunately, if you're second, you're first loser, really. There is no such thing as second, and that is the big difference here. You've got to win, and you've got to win again, and that's what these boys have done. They've been over the course, they've been up against it, they were up against it in the second half, I felt. They dug in, they found a way, and then you get that opportunity. When you've got an opportunity, and the big thing for me is when you're bringing on the guys you're bringing on, we couldn't do that earlier, and that tells you the squad have all had a part to play in it. They've had to dig in, they've had to win points when you've not had your best players available. They've managed to do that. But then you've had two guys that's come off the side of the pitch today, had a massive effect on the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. And this is what this group looks like. It looks like a squad of players. You know, all can impact it and they're all happy for each other. Of course you all want to be playing. There's no doubt of that. But when you've got a squad like this willing to fight and scratch and bite for each other, along with their talent, then you've got an opportunity to win trophies. And that's the difference between the two sides. Celtic have the better players, but it wasn't about that in the second half, because you've got to say Rangers are the better side the second half, but Celtic still found a way how to win, and that is the most important thing. How do we win? No. And cup ties, 100% they're about winning. That's all people remember, who lifts the trophy.
And they say winning is a habit, and it's a hard habit to break. "42 Scottish Cups for Celtic. No one has won more." We're just waiting for the Celtic supporters who'd come down to celebrate with the team behind the goal to return to their seats before they will get on with the celebration.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, if I was a Rangers player, I don't think I'd be waiting in amongst all this. I'd be way up the tunnel, crying. I wouldn't be worried about the medal. Somebody can hand them in if they want. No interested. I wouldn't be listening to all the Celtic supporters singing and the Celtic boys get up to get the trophy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a fair point. The Rangers players are still out there. There's no fans of Rangers left, they're all gone. But the players are waiting to be handed their medals before Callum McGregor goes up, lifts the trophy and begins the party.
It just shows you the emotions. There's no doubt Adam either would be disappointed not to start. As it comes to cup finals, everybody wants to play. But his reaction on the pitch and the way he played when he came on tells you the type of character he is, and that's something we talk about when you're signing players to play for Celtic. That means he's got the right attitude and can handle the disappointments and still come on and affect the game. And that's a massive part of becoming a Celtic player.
So Rangers captain James Tavernier has to take that agonising walk up past the Scottish Cup, bedecked in green and white ribbons, come back down the other end and disappear up the tunnel with another runners-up medal. So the Rangers players disappear up the tunnel and leave Celtic to it. Here come the boys. And a repeat of last year's celebration when Celtic beat Inverness Caledonian Thistle in the cup final. Callum McGregor will lift the trophy. Nope, the referees have to go up first, of course. Nick Walsh pretty busy this afternoon. Fair number of yellow cards was involved in disallowing the Rangers goal, quite rightly. The push on Joe Hart when Abdullah Sima thought he had given Rangers the lead early in the second half.
It'd be interesting to see the controversy if it not for the penalty situation in the first half. We've never seen much of that.
I wonder if Callum will go up last. Looks like he will. Let his teammates go up, collect their medals and wait so they can join in the trophy lift. What a first season back for Brendan Rodgers. So here we go. It will be Cameron Carter-Vickers who goes up first to collect yet another winner's medal. The whole Celtic squad going up. Joe Hart getting a high five from every one of the backroom staff. He's last up before the manager and then Callum. The players all gather in front of the trophy. It's a tight space up there. Not much room for Callum to find his way in, but I'm sure he will. Here comes Celtic captain Callum McGregor. With Celtic goalkeeper Joe Hart. Celtic have won the Scottish Cup. Celtic have won the double.
To be fair to Clement, they've stayed out, they've not went up, they've showed their respect, and you've got to give them credit for that, because that cannot be easy, because it wouldn't be me, that's for sure. So a little bit of respect there for that, but it's fantastic to see Celtic lift this trophy, and what a fantastic way. We're talking about Callum and that, but what a way for Joe Hart to finish his football career, and a thoroughly deserved.
Unbelievable end to an unbelievable contribution to Celtic for Joe Hart. I was talking to him through the week in Lennoxtown and just asked him how he was feeling, and he was saying that things were going so well that he was really uncomfortable with it.
Absolutely, and you can see that, and it's different when you've made that decision. And especially when he's still fit lad, he looks a fit lad, you know, he's been playing a long time, but mentally it's draining. When you're away from your family a lot, you're doing a lot of travelling, there's not preparation, you very rarely, you break up for your holiday to come back home because you've got so little time now. And sometimes it gets to a stage, there'll not be money Joe's looking for, that's for sure. No. But the one thing he does, you can't make up for medals in these days. It doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank, these are special, special days. And you just want more and more of them. But as I say, if somebody deserves to go out at the highest level, it's definitely Joe Hart.
Yeah, money's money, but medals are memories.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've got your Scottish Cup winners medal from that Rangers game and pride of place somewhere in your house.
Absolutely, absolutely. That never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not telling you where. I know what you're like.
Philippe Clement with a final handshake to Brendan Rodgers before he leaves the scene, and the Celtic squad go up onto the podium on the pitch for some more celebrations.
Fantastic memories for these boys, as you said. I'll live with them forevermore, no matter what they do in their lives. These are always special, special days, and you can always go back to it, no matter how many years it is down the line.
Well, you never get tired of a trophy lift, so why not have two? It is a double after all.
Absolutely.
Well, Joe Hart's old club Man City lost the FA Cup final today, but I don't think that'll be concerning him right now, because this is exactly the way he wanted to end his career, on an absolute high. It was already a high after the league win, but this was the icing on the cake for Joe Hart and everyone at Celtic, and well, he will just be absolutely buzzing to have ended his career here at Hampden with a trophy in hand, having beaten Rangers in a Scottish Cup final. Some of these Celtic supporters are an age where they've only known success. Peter, you and I are not quite as young as them, so we know what it's like. Me as a supporter, you as a player, to have played through some times when silverware didn't come as often as it does. These players, these supporters, they need to cherish these moments because, well, times are good just now, but it's not always been like this.
Oh, that's why they're so fortunate, and that's why I say enjoy every moment of it, because you never know what's round the corner. And this club is built on winning. That's what you've got to do, is win. There's no getting away from it. No matter how long you stay here, you have to win trophies, you have to win league titles. I said it, we won the league last week, you're champions for 6 weeks. That's the way it is. You've got to go again. You've won the cup now, you're double winners. Tomorrow, Monday, you'll get the pictures all over the papers for sure. Everybody will be talking about this. Next day, everybody switches onto the Euros and they're thinking, oh, the league's ready to start again. And that's the way football is. And at this football club, it's about winning. Winning. We talked about one half of the stadium's full, the other half's empty. It's a long time since we've seen that with Celtic supporters, and the respect to that. It's always been full because they've got into that way, winning. And as you say, it becomes a habit, but you've got to keep fighting for it all the time. And this group of players deserve that. As I said before, it's not been a vintage season, but when they've had to show guts and they've had to dig in, they've shown the true traits of what Celtic Football Club's built on. And it's 57 years we talk about today. These guys will all be, the ones that's upstairs looking down on them, will be so proud of them, that they've represented them the way they have.
Well, Joe Hart might be 37 years of age, but let me tell you, he knows how to party. You may have seen that recently on social media. He will celebrate. Of that, there is no doubt. These players, well, of course, it's the end of their season. A few of them will go off to their international duties, like James Forrest, Callum McGregor, Anthony Ralston, Greg Taylor for Scotland, of course. Most will have a well-earned rest. We've still got another game tomorrow to broadcast to you live. We are at Celtic Park for the Legends match between Celtic and Dortmund. That one is a 2 o'clock kick-off. You can see it live on Celtic TV wherever you are. So we hope you can join myself and Paul Currie in the commentary box to see such players as Joe Ledley, Georgios Samaras, Artur Boric, Charlie Mulgrew, Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, Scott Brown, of course, captaining the Celtic side. Simon Donnelly's playing as well. I did promise that we'd be kind to him.
You've raised the bar now when you mention him.
That one a 2 o'clock kick-off tomorrow, so please join us for what will be a great afternoon raising money for the foundation. And the players...
What I'm pleased about as well, Jerry, the boys have kept their strips on. Nothing better than celebrating with the hoops on. I'm not one for t-shirts going on top. I think you're lucky enough to wear the hoops. Let everybody know it's Celtic at one. You know, I know there's a place for t-shirts and whatever, but I think the celebrations and the medals, when they look back with their jerseys on, it gives them that place and that pride.
Players are still on the pitch getting group photos. In fact, I think Joe Hart's taking a team selfie.
That's what I was going to say, that's the biggest selfie I've ever seen.
He is indeed. Stephen from our multimedia team handing him the social phone to get some content that no doubt you will be enjoying over the hours and days to come. As Brendan Rodgers gets handed the trophy by Kyogo. And he holds it aloft for these Celtic supporters, some of whom were not too happy when he returns, but I don't see anyone not clapping.
Absolutely not. Phenomenal. Deserves it. They dig in. This is probably, I keep saying it, I think the league title and winning this cup has probably been his hardest since he's been at Celtic, even including the first time. This is the one. It's the one.
Absolutely. He's already admitted that. He's had things to deal with that he perhaps didn't expect, and he's come through them and out the other end. And now, as he gets his backroom team behind him, he will take a well-earned break as well, but not totally, because he will be looking to, as he says, add quality, more quality to this Celtic squad and take us from strength to strength, because there's a new Champions League format next season. Instead of 6 games against 3 teams, we have 8 games against 8 teams. So that should make for an exciting competition. We know we will have Champions League football after Christmas, because the first round doesn't end until the end of January.
Yeah, listen, we talk about the Champions League. I think the performance over the last 2 years have been much improved in the respect that they've tried to win games, and I think that's so important. They've been unfortunate in certain games. Yes, we've taken a couple of hammers against the top teams that have actually been on to get to the final or win it. You know, so we've got to be realistic, and financially we keep talking about it. If the bottom team in England gets 120 million and we get 2 or 3 million, I think that tells you the difference right away, and that's what you're fighting against all the time. It's near impossible. It'd be nice to win a few games, of course. We'll try and get to that level again, you know, and hopefully we can do that.
Manager and captain together with the Scottish Cup. So many police and security in the Celtic end, not just preventing the fans from encroaching, but preventing the team from going over there. They've created a big area of space between the Celtic players and the supporters. We know it's not the best for the supporters behind the goal when you're so far away, but I can understand them wanting stewards around the supporters to protect the players from supporters coming on, but they're now preventing the players from getting close to even the stewards, which is a bit odd.
Well, if you remember the other day, I think it was fencing that was there, so we could go right up and go round about the fans that near the supporters at that particular time. And I think nowadays, because so many things are banned now, it makes it impossible for them, and that's sometimes the difficulty, because that touchy-feely thing with the supporters was always so important, and the respect that we used to walk down Kerrydale Street and you were getting signatures signed and whatever, and you were part of them. You were going to the nights in that evening, and it's different now. It's different now, and this is where the supporters get to see them and enjoy them, and it's fantastic for them, because, listen, as you say, a lot of these young kids have only seen success. The older ones have not seen it and probably appreciate it a little bit more. We just think it's a norm.
Well, the T-shirts are out, Peter.
Yeah, I'm not too happy.
T-shirts are out. They say don't back down, double down.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I don't like the T-shirt. I'm not a T-shirt man, I must admit. I can't see it.
You're a traditionalist.
Absolutely. The more you see the hoops in the front page, the better.
Players now coming across to celebrate with the supporters in the south stand, just down below where we are situated. It's going to take something to get that trophy off Joe Hart, I think.
Well, one thing's for sure, he's not going to drop it.
No. It'll be emotional for Joe when he takes those gloves on, knowing that he's not going to be putting them back on again.
That's a nice touch. Joe's got the goalkeepers with him, along with Stevie Woods, who's helped him. I've absolutely no doubt Stevie's a top quality guy as well, and he's got a calmness about him that's similar that Joe would probably appreciate.
And the support network of Scott Bain and Benji Siegrist as well is not lost on Joe, as he mentioned in a recent interview I did with him. It's something that supporters don't see behind the scenes. You know, it's a real tight group, and the other goalkeepers have to support the main man. And both Scott and Benji have done that, and Celtic have benefited greatly, as has Joe, because of that. Well, what a season it's been. What a season it's been. Did you think we'd be standing here on the 25th of May on such an historic day in Celtic's history, celebrating a double? Well, we are, because after wrapping up the league title and lifting that trophy last week, Celtic, thanks to a late goal from Adam Ida, have now won the Scottish Cup and are the double winners. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. As I said, please join us again tomorrow afternoon. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff at Celtic Park for the Legends against the Dortmund Legends in a match for Celtic FC Foundation. Enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you soon. Thanks to Peter Grant from everyone here at Celtic TV. I will leave you with the words, Celtic are double winners.